I think that's what we will eventually see.
A full-on return to the gold standard.
I think that will probably happen before 2030 by countries who are now and will be members of BRICS Plus. The original idea was to link the currency to a basket of commodities that BRICS produces. I think that has evolved into whatever is the currency will be convertible into gold.
The BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa alliance has been in the news a lot more lately, primarily because of its aim of dethroning the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. In the wake of the many financial and economic sanctions announced against Russia last year, the member countries of the alliance, which have continued to maintain their relationship with Russia in defiance of the West, denounced the West's dominance and constant abuse of power and started advocating for the transition toward multipolarity. This is one of the many offerings of the alliance, a world where the United States or any other single country is not the sole superpower, but where there are multiple superpowers from different regions in the world. The idea of a multipolar world where the United States dollar is not the sole reserve currency is quickly catching on, and no less than 30 countries have informally requested to join the alliance, according to recent reports. Member states, especially China and Russia, as well as prospective members like Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, have also settled several transactions worth hundreds of millions of dollars in alternative fiat currencies, especially the Chinese yuan. Policymakers in the United States continue to downplay the risk to the dollar if the BRICS alliance is successful in recruiting more countries to grow its economic and financial might and in creating a rival currency for the greenback. However, renowned geopolitical and finance analyst Simon Hunt warns that the BRICS alliance poses a significant risk to the United States economy and the dollar. During a recent interview with Kitco News, Hunt, the founder of Simon Hunt Strategic Services, gives his views on the BRICS alliance's goal of ending the dollar's dominance on the international stage and exactly how the alliance could achieve this goal. Though Hunt says ending a system that has been around for decades will take a gradual process, he is convinced that the world could be returning to the gold standard in as little as 7 years as a result of the BRICS' intention of creating a gold-backed currency. We will now bring you clips from Hunt's interview with Kitco's Michelle McCory. Please watch, share, and like this video. Also, ensure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications bell, and drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
I think it's a very serious attack on the dollar world that has existed since World War II. What has created this new growing organization is frustration with the way that America has used the dollar for its own purposes. And what BRICS is really all about is the development of a multipolar world instead of the world being dominated essentially by one country. And it's that growing frustration that is leading to so many other countries wanting to join BRICS Plus. How the new currency will evolve is obviously a pretty closely guarded secret between the Sherpas of the BRICS Plus, who are organizing the meeting in the end of 22nd to 24th of August. I think that there will be a lot of discussion. I think a roadmap has been planned. How much will be announced at the BRICS meeting is questionable. It clearly requires an awful lot of work to see that whatever is the new currency, how it will work. So we will probably see hints of what they are going to do. Now, the original idea was to link the currency to a basket of commodities that BRICS produces. I think that has evolved into whatever is the currency will be convertible into gold. Now, it can either be using the renminbi to be convertible, which actually it is now. You can receive renminbi and you can convert the renminbi into gold through the Shanghai Gold Exchange, which since its inception has actually had a total of something like 25,000 tons moved through the exchange. An interesting aspect of this is how Russia and China treat their growing trade between the two countries. For instance, Russia is currently having a trade surplus of $23 billion odd dollars. Those dollars are held in a gold convertible account in China's central bank, the PBOC. I suspect, without knowing, that that will be the template between China and the Gulf countries. What is also happening, as you mentioned, is that BRICS is using local currencies to settle trade balances. And that's being done through the BRICS bank, which is called the New Trade Bank. And they are building a reserve of local currencies, BRICS currencies. For instance, quite recently, they issued in the China bond market $1.2 trillion worth of panda bonds. So you can see that there's a very strong chosen path by BRICS to develop a new mechanism which will be against G7 countries. What people don't appreciate is the depth that BRICS has created in its secretariat. They have special secretariats for every single part of the world, whether it be geopolitics, whether trade, finance, education, and even sports. Each one has its separate secretariat, which is actually housed in the BRICS Tower in Pudong in Shanghai. So this is really the early developments of a new bloc of countries that really is a danger to the G7.
According to Hunt, by mid-2020s, the BRICS new currency, or yuan, if the member countries agree to use it, will be convertible to gold. This, Hunt believes, will eventually lead to a return to the gold standard latest by 2030. During his interview with Kitco, the renowned commodities specialist also discusses two important reasons why the alliance will continue to expand for the foreseeable future. The first is the BRICS' intention to admit all interested countries, even those that default on their debt obligations to the International Monetary Fund. According to Hunt, the BRICS alliance also intends to create a BRICS World Bank that would make short and long-term loans available to members.
I think eventually, I suspect, because I don't know, it will be a step-by-step approach. I think at the end of the, say, in the mid-2020s, which is only a few years away, it will be convertible into gold. People don't appreciate, or some don't, is the size of the gold reserves which China has and Russia has. China has in total 50,000 tons plus, and Russia probably north of 12,000 tons. So their central banks are only holding a small part of the total. As I mentioned earlier, since the inception of the Shanghai Gold Exchange, something like 25,000 tons has passed through the exchange into Chinese households and institutions. The remaining 25-odd thousand tons, most of that is held by different ministries, including the PLA. The first thing to note is that the Russian economist who is heading up the team to develop this new currency, in an interview he gave the end of last year to a Moscow-based newspaper, laid out a very important point. Whether it's pursued or not, I don't know, but he made the point that any existing member or new member who defaults on loans to Western banks and financial institutions will not be debarred from joining BRICS. So that is a very, very important point if they pursue it. The second point is the BRICS Bank will eventually grow into being the BRICS World Bank. So a country like Zambia needs loans to continue to develop its mining industry. That's where they will go, not to a World Bank or Western banks.
How quickly do you see this coalition expanding?
First of all, you have to remember that it requires the unanimous approval of all BRICS members to accept a new member. So I suspect that the first round of new members will be completed within a couple of years. Don't forget that in December last year, President Xi gave a very important presentation to Gulf leaders. So I'm paraphrasing what he said. You will have surpluses with us. We will have deficits with you. We will have surpluses with you, and you will have deficits. How we resolve those differences will be through an interstate means. The message is laid out very clearly. He also said, we will be invoicing everything in RMB. So that also implies either you will hold your RMBs in our bond market, or you will have the means to convert that into gold. And don't forget that both Saudi Arabia and the UAE have sold parcels of oil and UAE parcels of gas to China, received RMB, and then used, so one is told, used the Shanghai Gold Exchange to convert the RMB into gold. So one suspects these were just test parcels.
According to recent reports from Business Standard, a senior official from the BRICS alliance pledging anonymity said the group plans to welcome 6 new members during the next BRICS summit, which will be held in South Africa in August. The alliance will also decide on the formation of a new currency during the summit. The 6 countries that will be inducted according to the report are Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Argentina, Egypt, and Indonesia. If these countries are added to the alliance in 2023, the BRICS plus GDP would swell to $32.66 trillion, $7.16 trillion, ahead of the current U.S. GDP of $25.5 trillion. In addition, Saudi and Bahrain send millions of barrels of oil to the United States and the European Union daily. If they and other Middle Eastern countries that have all already shown interest in joining the BRICS stop accepting dollars for their oil, the petrodollar system will crumble quickly. What are your thoughts on the video? Do you believe the BRICS alliance poses a serious threat to the U.S. economy and the dollar? Please drop your comments and observations in the comments section. If you are yet to do so, also ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications bell for more videos. Thanks for watching.